Hi, good afternoon. Welcome to the marketplace. Coming up, government places new restrictions on borrowings by state-owned enterprises and other entities to check the country's rising debt. Also coming up, Bank of Ghana takes some extra measures to help consolidate the city's stability. And we'll hear from Managing Director of Hollard Insurance, Daniel Boy Ado, who has indicated that the insurance industry has recorded some marginal growth in the past few months.
Growing. I mean, if you compare where we are now to where we were 10 years ago, there's a significant difference. However, there's still a lot of distance to be cleared.
My name is Daryl. Kwawu. Thanks for joining us. Details coming up. Well, first up, government has placed new restrictions on borrowings by state-owned enterprises and other entities to check the country's rising debt. This is captured in the country's new debt management strategy document. Here's more.
The document gives fine details on how government plans to deal with the debts from this year to 2026. This is more of measures to bring Ghana's debts to sustainable levels. It is coming after the World Bank and the IMF classified the country's debts as unsustainable. Government in the document argued that despite plans to limit contracting new debts from non-concessional sources, there might be a window for such borrowings is needed to finance very important projects. The Ministry of Finance is also looking at asking these state institutions to pay an upfront fee or non-refundable charge in situations where government has to issue guarantee for these loans, or what is called no objection to borrow on the books of these state institutions. These measures may help in mitigating the fiscal risk to government. These programs that government is already implementing is different from the current debt exchange program that is aimed at bringing Ghana's debts to sustainable levels by 2028.
Now, the Bank of Ghana is taking some extra measures to help consolidate the city's stability on the market. The regulator, to this end, has intervened with some dollar supply.
Business understands that the central bank was active on the market today with some $5 million. This is seen by some market players as significant due to the fact that the central bank has not been that heavy on the markets this week. Joy Business is also learning that the bank sold some $20 million today to help the bulk oil distribution firms finance the importation of finished petroleum product. This action by the Bank of Ghana may help deal with demand for foreign currencies, a development that might go a long way to help stabilize the Ghana cedi for this week. You would need about 11 Ghana cedi 46 pesos to get a dollar today.
All right, back to our earlier story to do with Ghana's new debt management strategy. And as we've been reporting today, government is placing restrictions on borrowings by state-owned enterprises and other entities. Research lead at GCB Capital, Courage Bote, joins me on Zoom to discuss this. Good afternoon to you, Courage. How effective will these restrictions on SOEs and other entities be, and how significantly will it help in checking our rising debt?
You and your listeners. Yes, I think it's been part of the 2023 budget and the conversation all this while. Ghana's debt problem, to a big part, also can be attributed to the losses and the inefficiencies in the SOE sector over time. So if you look at what is reported on the budget and all of that, about the debt to GDP ratio, I think it looks like around 71, 72% now. That is high, but that excludes the SOE debt and all of that. Now the analysis is not about government of Ghana debt per se, it's about general government debt that is extended to include the SOEs and the many other tests along that chain. That is why we're talking in excess of 105% of GDP, which means our debt is unsustainable. And so if you want to deal with that decisively, you have to tackle the issue of non-performing inefficient SOEs. And I guess a starting point per the directives from the states, the SIGA, was to diversify some of those SOEs that are commercially viable. And you look at examples of institutions like your Graphic, you look like many other commercial SOEs that are now running purely commercial, and they are very profitable. You could make that example for some other institutions like your GTV and many other state institutions that can be on their own books and do things by themselves. We win no state subvention and some of these sovereign guarantees that go into their debt. That would be a good place to start with. And of course, when you want to cap the lending that you could advance to some of these state agencies, it's a step in the right direction in that they must justify the ability to pay for some of these loans that are advanced to them. And they must actually generate even profit for the state to service some of the general government debts as part of their contribution to the national kitty. Unfortunately, that has not been the case for most of them, really. So we're looking forward to what can be done differently, including positioning some of these agencies like your ECG to be able to borrow on their own books and on their own balance sheet, which will not have ramifications and sovereign guarantee from the state and by extension ramification for the debt portfolio, really. So these are things we must begin to look at in the different light. And I'm happy that the debt management strategy is trying to start from those angles. But these are not things we've not heard before. They are things that have been trumpeted and just been rehashed, really. It's about the implementation and how to ensure that they work, especially for institutions like Ghana Water, ECG. There is no need for state to be sponsoring them because they are commercial entities. And now that we move into even full cost recovery regime, really, it strengthens the case that they should be on their own balance sheets.
What else should we be doing that we are not doing in bringing our debt to sustainable levels?
Well, I mean, prudence in what we acquire debt for. Borrowing has never been bad. If you're borrowing for a project that can self-sustain or can pay for itself, then there is no problem. We can talk about examples of things like your Terminal 3 project. If you are borrowing to do a Tema motorway and then you put a toll on it, and then the proceeds from that tolling can go into servicing the debt, there is no problem. If you are borrowing to do any other social project, then you must weigh the cost versus the benefits. And if we are doing a kilometer of road, the question should be, is this for political consideration or it has some economic consequence? Of course, not everything can have economic consequence, really. I mean, a road in probably some hinterland may not pay for itself through some commercial activity, but then we need to balance that so that the projects become on need basis and those with commercial viability, they take precedence, whereas the very social ones that do not have immediate social benefit and immediate commercial benefits, you could moderate how much of those you do. We balance our development strategy that we could be earning money from the commercial ones, which can go into paying for the extremely social projects that we are undertaking. And then we need to look at domestic tax revenue mobilization. And by this, I do not mean raising the tax rate. It has been the common catch whenever we talk of tax. But then it is easier said, I must admit, that expanding the tax base, expanding the tax net is very easy to say, but then the practice of it is actually where the challenge is. And I will expect that going forward, we brainstorm and find innovative ways to get the informal sector players to pay their bet, including the artisans, who we could easily find innovative ways to get into the tax net. The e-levy hasn't done it, but what else could do it? We need to look at that, because if we could even expand the current revenue base by a 30-40% on a sustainable basis, which is feasible given the large size of the informal sector, we may cut our borrowing needs by a significant percentage, really. So we need to look at those means also of trying to reduce the debt burden.
Well, in other news, Cocoa Board is pegging participation in its debt exchange program at 97%, with over 7 billion cedis worth of bills tendered after the program ended last Friday. Cocoa Board in July this year launched its cocoa exchange program to cocoa bills exchange program to restructure almost 8 billion cedis worth of debts. We understand settlements were supposed to be made today, but postponed to September 4. What do you make of how this is all played out?
Well, I mean, and this is a shining example of what could have been if we did the right things prior to the initial DDP. We would not have had the chaotic response we've had. You see, it wasn't just Cocoa Board. There was 2 other alternative debt exchanges going by. The exchange of the dollar-denominated bond, about $801 million of domestic dollar bonds, also closed the same time. And we've had about 34 billion in pension sector holdings that was also exchanged for new bonds. But the reason they've gone quiet and most people haven't heard about it is the fact that government has engaged better than they did in the previous ones. And it yielded, in fact, the pensions one yielded about 92% success rate. And then I think the dollar one about 92% or so, and Cocoa Board 97%. And those are impressive. You compare that to the 85% participation rate we saw for the initial DDP, and this is a much better outcome, really. And the difference was that there was better engagement this time. The market was carried along, and this should have been. What this does is it's adding some 40 plus odd billion to the 83 billion we exchanged earlier. Which increases the portion of the domestic debt that is under the exchange now. And what that does is you have a larger portion of our total domestic stock under the exchange. You have the pension sector would drive liquidity on the market, also having the new bonds, a cold resurrect activity on the secondary market going forward. And we could expect also that confidence is restored now that government has paid upon on even the initial tranche of the DDP. Really, confidence should be gradually being restored in the market, and that should lead to better outcome over time, really. So it's a good development. It reduces government obligations significantly. Cocoa bills in particular were being issued in excess of 30%. Now the exchange brings it down to now about 13%. It gives Cocoa Board also the leg room to be able to operate, so long as they avoid their quasi-fiscal duties or things they've been doing in the past and can focus on the business of buying and selling cocoa and interventions in that sector now. And at 13%, they could actually continue their business and not have the issues they've had in the past, really. So it's a good development, I must say, and it adds to the quest to restore their sustainability.
Also, we're hearing that banks have reportedly directed Cocoa Board to freeze bills submitted for participation in the DDP. This as a result of delays in securing reliefs for participation in the debt exchange program. The bank saying the failure to secure these reliefs will affect its ability to stay in business and financing of Cocoa Board's activities in the coming months. I don't know what you're hearing on your side, and how much of a threat is this, and what's the way out?
That is an info I'm not exactly privy to, but then I guess whatever the issue is, the administrative processes really, and to the extent the banks express interest and even submitted 97% of their debt, means that whatever the outstanding issues are can easily be trashed out. And I guess it's a matter of allowing some more time and engagement to get the sense of what the issues are and addressing them. I don't think that is beyond us. The objective of getting those debts exchanged, I believe, supersede whatever the administrative challenges may be at this point in time. Yeah, so I would ask that if they are not doing already, I will ask that a bit more of cooperation, a bit more of listening will help resolve whatever the issue may be, and we could have these bonds settled or these bills settled. It's a very critical for the debt sustainability quest, really. And so at this point, it's almost home and dry. So it's just about the needed engagements now to iron it out, really.
Kweav Expo, thank you so much, research lead at GCB Capital. I appreciate your insights this afternoon. Now, Managing Director of Hollard Insurance, Daniel Boyado, has indicated that the insurance industry has recorded some marginal growth in the past few months. According to him, the company is employing strategies to increase insurance penetration. He was speaking at the launch of the Hollard Insure Park.
In partnership with Vivo Energy has launched the Hollard Insure Pack, which brings instant motor insurance directly to customers at Shell fuel stations nationwide. The product allows customers to purchase motor insurance for all types of vehicles and motorbikes. According to the managing director of Hollard Insurance, Daniel Boy Ado, they are working to increase insurance coverage in the country.
The industry is growing. I mean, if you compare where we are now to where we were 10 years ago, there's a significant difference. However, there's still a lot of distance to be cleared. Still, penetration is around 1%, and it's been so for the last few years. However, in the last few years, if you would note, there's been a lot of innovation in the insurance space, all aimed at solving the accessibility problem. I mean, hopefully in the future, everyone will have an insurance or access to an insurance product very close to wherever they want it. Traditionally, we've always sold insurance in insurance halls, or if you needed insurance, you had to contact your broker or your intermediary. It was always a laborious process getting insurance. What we are saying is that this is the 21st century. We should move from that way of selling insurance. So we've packaged insurance, motor insurance, and we are selling it at a Vivo shop near to you.
Corporate Communications Manager at Vivo Energy, Shirley Tony Kim, reiterated the company's commitment towards ensuring the well-being of their customers.
As a company that really values the health and safety of its people, we are excited about the fact that our customers, when they come to our stations, are actually insured and protected on the go. So we believe that it's a great partnership, and we look forward to more future partnership with other institutions, including Hollard, to bring in more offers to our customers.
The Hollard Insure Pack is a cutting-edge product that allows customers to purchase a motor insurance policy immediately and electronically.
Now, as government takes prudent steps to improve technical and vocational education, some private institutions and civil society organizations have resolved to support the efforts. Group Head of Strategy and Marketing at Alliance Live, Na Adole Avevo, has reiterated the company's commitment to helping the youth in TVET create jobs. She spoke at a TVET event organized by Visionspring and Alliance Live in Accra.
Alliance Life and Visionspring launched the See to Earn and See to Learn project to upskill young adults by improving their personal effectiveness and productivity. At the launch of the project, workers and students of the Ghana TVET service received free eye screening and medication. According to Group Head of Strategy and Marketing at Alliance Life, Na Adole Avevo, the youth are critical to ensuring economic development through job creation.
At the end of the day, you want to impact the youth, and this particular project is supporting SDG 8, people with disabilities, and you want to really impact the youth. So really it's the youth, and who has the youth in TVET? You want youth that have the skills, that are going out there to work as well. So help them already have the skills, but what can they do with the skills if they cannot see? So help them see and put the skills that they've acquired through TVET to use. Really, that's why we are partnering with Visionspring and then TVET. So really, Alliance's role in here is the funder, funding with 30,000 euros.
Deputy Director General of the Ghana TVET Service, David Pra, added that support of this kind will help the youth to increase productivity.
Technical and vocational education and training is a pivot of every country's development. And so Visionspring Alliance have thought it wise to collaborate with Ghana TVET Service to screen and provide eyeglasses purposely for reading and also to enable our TVET practitioners focus clearly on whatever activities that they will be doing. I'm so grateful on behalf of the Director General, Madam Mausi, to indicate that Ghana TVET Service is excited for this wonderful program. We are going to continue to work with Visionspring and Alliance so that our learners, our students, our graduates who have a clear vision to be able to execute the task that is required of them. TVET professionals, whether you are mechanical engineering, you are a catering expert, you are a fashion designer, you are a driver or auto mechanic, you need clear vision, you need good eyesight to be able to execute your work to the perfection that it requires.
The project will be taken to other regions in the country to empower the youth.
Now, startups in the digital ecosystem will have the opportunity to access some international and domestic support from investors at this year's Digital Innovation Week. The program, slated for November, will provide a platform for stakeholders to interact and share ideas on solving economic and governance challenges. Speaking to Joy Business at the launch, head of project at Digital Transformation Center GIZ, David Roberts, hinted that small and medium enterprises in the digital space will be supported to exhibit their problem-solving innovations. Here's more in this report. The Ghana Digital Innovation Week is a nationwide series of events showcasing and celebrating milestones in Ghana's digital innovation ecosystem. The event, slated for November, is under the theme Innovate, Collaborate, Elevate, Shaping the Future of Endless Potential. Head of projects for the Digital Transformation Center at GIZ Ghana, David Roberts, told Joy Business the initiative is geared towards supporting the youth in their digital innovations.
The government of Germany and government of Ghana have a contract, and on this base the different projects of the German corporation is working here. So, and we are specialized in the digitalization. Is the reason why we are supporting the goals of the government of Ghana to come ahead in the digital world and to skills, to support artificial intelligence, to support framework you need for a knowledge and technology-based economy.
The Israeli Embassy in Ghana is supporting the initiative this year. Here's the ambassador, Shlomi Tsufa.
Previous years we were able to contribute as Israel and Mashav, which is our international development agency. We were able to contribute presenters that would give presentations, workshops and the like. And this year we're still calling on the people who observe this to contribute ideas, to follow us on our new and updated website, on our social media channels, follow us, engage, contribute your ideas. We're still open, we're still in the process of designing the program.
In the last 2 years, the Digital Innovation Week has mobilized investments into the country's digital space. Now, the 2023 Kente Weaving Expo has been launched in Ho in the Volta region with a call on government to give urgent priority to the weaving industry in order to help revive it. The program, which was under the theme Celebrating Our Cultural Brilliance and Achievement of Craft Practitioners, is aimed at bringing all weavers and practitioners under one umbrella for a common goal of reviving the industry.
It was by the CEO of the TY and Chief Kente Weaver, Senior Avonyuche, noted that considering the critical role that Kente Weaving plays, it is our solemn duty to protect and preserve this heritage for generations to come, while also showcasing its importance on the global stage.
Through my studies and research, it shows that the Western world doesn't know the importance or the uses of our fabric. So I took it upon myself, going around in universities in the state, colleges, teaching them. As I'm speaking or talking to you, I have looms in various universities like Nordic Kentucky University, Hutchinson Community College, which as time goes, I went there and educate them, for them to know how difficult it is to come out with one stripe. Because they think, because of the printers that China is imitating, they think Kente is like something cheap. So they don't even respect the fabric. Now that I've been doing this, they know that this fabric is very important fabric, and then it's a part of Ghana, and then we also are part of Kente. That's why I'm even organizing this expo for the weavers.
He lamented the inadequate cotton fabrics available for the weavers to use, making the work difficult for them.
Even Ghana here, the cotton fabric stand firm than the others. But we are not more growing cotton. In the far back, you can see that Ghana grow cotton. And as I'm talking to you, I am the largest exporter in cushions and curtains to Sweden, France, US. But sometimes I lose this contract because the buyers need typical cotton, and I don't have it. Sometimes I have to go around Burkina, call some colleagues in Mali, Niger that I need real cotton, because sometimes before you know, they'll reject the order for you. So they have to come out and then revamp the cotton farming, and then we also can even get that liberty, because of that. That's why weavers are not making any international impact when it comes to international marketing.
Dr. George Hallow, who was the guest speaker, noted that the virtues and aspirations embedded in African culture seemingly weave themselves into the fabric of kente
And that's our program. Thanks for watching, everyone. There is more news on our website, myjoyonline.com/business. Ghana can raise up to 12 billion annually from property taxes in Greater Accra. That's according to Professor Aka. myjoyonline.com/business. Thanks for watching. We will be back same time tomorrow.